Sometimes the weight of expectations tries to box us in the places we weren't meant to fit.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. I'm Teresa.
And I'm Irene. I know
And
it's like so
oh,
right there.
we've been gone. We've been missing in action. All my fault. All my fault. We will dive into it. But Irene, take it away, girl.
All right, friends. So today we are going to dive into something where life doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. And that's something that we've been talking a lot about here on the Messy Middle Unfiltered. So, Teresa, tell us about the conversation that we're going to have today. What is it going to feel like?
Okay, so today's conversation is going to feel like one of those quiet but really heavy ones.
I know it kind of sits with you and it kind of burns a hole inside your heart, but we don't talk about it out loud. We just kind of sit with it and we simmer with it.
We're talking about what happens when you don't speak from the heart and why so many women stop speaking their truth.
And then what happens and what it costs you. It might not cost you money, but it definitely costs you things when you keep it in.
So, like many women, right? We have to hold down the house. We have to hold down the finances. We have to keep it all together. And what we're really not good at saying is how we actually feel and what's truly going on.
My God, that's so good. And yeah, we never say how we feel. Whenever you ask any woman at any time, it's like, how are you doing? Great. Everything's good. Yeah, I'm fine. And we've talked about this before in previous podcasts, but I feel like today's episode and conversation is going to be deeper than that.
Well, it's many things, right? Like we want to keep the peace. We don't want to hurt people and we don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. I mean, I know myself, I'm such a people pleaser that I feel like I don't want to have uncomfortable conversations, not because I can't, I can,
Hmm. Of
but I
course.
don't want the other person to feel bad. And that's always my thing.
And as a result of that, we end up staying quiet.
Mhm.
Or we just say, we've had enough, no big thing, nothing really happening. And we just quietly walk away.
And basically what it is, right? It's the cost of holding it in. And that's how our lives dramatically change because we're carrying this weight and we overthink and then the tension builds. And then that's where, at least for me, like I start eating all the junk food and I don't start taking care of myself because I'm carrying the burden of the heaviness.
Yeah. And on the outside, everything looks great, right? As long as we're here, our hair looks fine, our makeup is done, our nails are done. People think that it's all okay. But on the inside, like you said before, there's definitely tension and it doesn't disappear. It doesn't. It shows up as frustration.
Hmm.
It shows up as being irritable, right? And that's when our family or husbands call us a bitch.
Hmm.
It shows up as resentment because while we're sitting in bed, I'm simmering and I'm saying, I hate SOS. I hate this. I hate that. And I'm resentful at the lives that other people are leading or even the lives that my own family is having. And I can't enjoy myself.
And
And
what we
sometimes I feel off. I
Yeah,
do.
and that's okay, like, right? So we don't always connect it right away with the fact that you're not truly being honest with yourself. I know I don't. I'm never honest with myself.
And exactly what you just said, because it's not just one big thing. It's an accumulation of little things. The
Mhm.
thing that we didn't say, the thing that we didn't do, the moments that we just swallowed what we really wanted to do and we didn't because we didn't want to have that uncomfortable conversation with someone. And like you said, I'm not fully honest either with myself sometimes. And like you, it comes out in the binge eating. It comes out in the stress eating. And then at the end of the night, I feel like crap
Right.
because what did I just do to myself?
Right. So I think midlife has a way of bringing everything to surface.
It really does. It really does. And that's the moment when we realize I don't want to keep doing things like this. I'm done. I'm finished. I just want to reset and start fresh.
Well, I mean, like, I think it's like how much can you possibly tolerate, right? Like at this point in my life, do I really want to keep on holding everything in? Do I really want to keep on faking it? Do I really keep on want to saying it's fine when it's really not? Or do I want to have the opposite side where I'm secretly falling apart and I'm just not holding it together? So it's
Mhm.
like find that middle ground. And I think this is where we need to have raw, uncomfortable conversations to be like, hey, I need a friend right now.
And there has to be a time when there's no judgment.
Hmm.
And that part of it me feels that is what takes time. We need to give ourselves time to feel all the feelings and to be able to give ourselves time to express ourselves. Like, this is my life right now, and I need to do things differently. I feel differently. I'm not going to take it anymore. And I just need time for myself to be able to adjust, to talk to friends, to be able to even stay alone or take a shower and not feel this rush.
I mean, so there's a sense of, I don't want to waste any more time if I'm not being honest with myself, right? Like, I need to finally look in that mirror and say, Teresa, wake up, say you're not okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but it's so scary. It's so scary to look at yourself in the mirror when you're raw and real, and especially in the mornings, right? We have like the curtain is off, there's no makeup, the palette is blank, it's a blank slate. And to look at yourself in the mirror and have that conversation with yourself is very scary.
But it's fear. It's
I
the fear of
know.
speaking up. So, like, even when you feel fear, it's scary, but at what point are you gonna say, "Take it off." Be honest with yourself. I'm not saying not be honest with the world. If you wanna hold it in and keep carrying on the way you wanna be, totally, I do it every single day, but we have to let it out and let it out somehow, because at some point our midlife is going to be even further along in our life, right? At what point are you not going to look yourself in the mirror and say, hold on, I need to take control and I need to fix this for yourself, not for anybody else, not for the dog, not for the husband, not for the kids. Take control of yourself. And that's what I'm going through right now.
I know. And as you're speaking, I'm getting very emotional because that's something I don't do. I
Mm,
don't speak honestly with myself. I might write it because
mm.
I know you and I are both very big journalers. I might write how I'm really feeling, but I will never say it out loud to myself. And I feel like that for me is the part that scares me. What I might say, and then how am I going to react to what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing?
But what is the scary outcome that you told yourself you're not okay? That you told yourself,
I don't know.
like,
Maybe
for
that's real.
but that's how you only improve yourself, right?
I know.
This is speaking of a person who my whole life is falling apart right now. Literally, I keep on looking in the mirror saying, Teresa, you're going to be fine. Like, relax, you're going to be fine. And I'm actually might not be okay. I might not be okay, but I need to be okay within myself. And I have been telling everybody else around me I'm okay, but I look in the mirror and I have to say, okay, if I'm not okay, what happens?
So, how do you feel after you speak honestly? Because it sounds like this is something that you've done or that you are in the process of doing or you've been thinking about practicing. How do you feel when you do speak honestly to yourself, right? We're not talking about everybody else here. Everyone else can do whatever they want. We're talking about honesty within ourselves. How do you feel?
So I had two major life events, right? Well, my
Hmm.
first life event was a couple of years ago. And my husband and I were going through a really hard time, and I just didn't know. Like, it was not a good time. But I had to stop listening to everybody else, and I had to look in the mirror and say,
Hmm.
my marriage. And it meant really upsetting a lot of personal family members that went through the hardship with me. Um,
Hmm.
and I had to just be honest with myself and say it was okay. It was a rough patch and blah, 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 blah. And now I'm going through another rough patch and a rough patch of 25 years, finding out I will no longer have my job anymore. And everybody else around me is so worried about me. Everybody around me is so upset. One, need to be strong for everybody else around me, right? But I have to look in the mirror and say, okay, at almost 50 years old, I'm 25 years, the same job. Like, I've had this half my life. Like,
Absolutely.
what am I doing now? So I'm looking for jobs because I don't want to not work. Well, I have to work too. But I'm saying to myself and being honest, like, am I going to have to take a job with less money? Most likely, right? Am I going to have to maybe take something I don't love? Most
I hope
likely,
not.
right?
Right. I hope not. I hope you can find something that you love.
But first time, well, now second time in my life, I have to speak honest to myself and see, like, I'm reinventing the reel. Like, what lights me up? What is my heart? Like, I have been carrying this hence we haven't been on for the last couple of weeks. But I
Mhm.
need to, when I'm alone, be honest with myself and say, shit, this might be really scary. Holy moly, look what's
Yeah.
happening. 25 years, like half of my life. I'm 50. Well, not yet,
Right.
soon, right?
Soon.
So it's like I need to just be honest with myself and have these hard conversations within myself and not just a journal. I have to speak it out loud.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I feel that once, like already, like I was very nervous talking to you today because I said, okay, I don't know what state of mind she's going to be in. But honestly, speaking to you and listening to you, there's a relief in your voice. There's a calmness because now I feel you put it out there. You're not carrying this alone anymore. You have support system. You've been talking to your husband about it. You've been reconnecting with old colleagues. And you even said it yourself. Now you're like actually lifting your head up and you're talking to people. Your head's not down in the computer anymore. Just
Mhm.
like, doing the grind every single day. And I think that's the shift. I think it's about, like you said, it's saying it truthfully. It's not about being perfect, but about being honest.
Yeah. I mean, I
Mhm.
feel that there's small ways to start. Like, I've been getting up and going to the gym.
That's great.
I miss the gym. I love the gym. Like, I started connecting with going outside and getting sunlight. I mean, I'm like a pale ghost right now, but I'm getting 10 minutes of like that sunlight where I'm not like, oh my God, the phone's ringing, oh this, oh that. And I still want the phone to ring and I still want to start working again. But I'm like, maybe the universe put this scary moment in my life to say, you're not living, girl. You're working to live, and that's not living. Middle of my life for 25 years, and it's only been the last 2 years that I truly haven't been happy, right?
Right.
Within this job. But like,
Mhm.
it's time to say, it doesn't have to be this big dramatic conversation, but it has to be an honest conversation with myself. And what am I going to allow going forward? What am I going to sacrifice? What am I going to give up? I was just at my son's baseball game and I wasn't on the phone. I wasn't typing. I actually watched his game and I was
Aw.
enjoying it. And I'm like, that's sad. It's sad because I wasn't ever really there.
Because you were always trying to hold everything, the space for everyone else at work. You were trying to keep it all together. And you're finally saying, enough. I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm going to be present for my family. And you want to make yourself happy. You want to be happy.
I
I
mean,
think, yeah, I think that's what the bottom line is.
yeah, I think it's just being a little bit more honest with yourself. And if that
Mhm.
means looking in the mirror and saying, shit, Irene, what do I really want my life to be like? And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, that's the
No.
whole point of us saying it's the messy middle.
Hmm.
But what is Irene going to allow versus what Irene is not going to allow? And
I
I
don't know.
am no longer going to allow a job to control me. And I want to be able to have a job that I love and do great work and be surrounded by amazing people. But at the same time, I want to enjoy my family and I don't want to sacrifice that anymore.
I love that for you. I really do. And that was a decision that I made, something similar to yours, back when I got back from Greece. I'm a coach during the day for the school system. And then I was doing my doTERRA business and I was also involved in a different company and then doing health coaching and nothing was working. Nothing was working. I was exhausted, trying to keep it all together. And I said, no, I'm going to stop. And that was a hard, honest conversation I had to have with myself because I had to let things go.
Hmm.
I even I even went as so far as to pack up my office with all those papers, with all those binders, and I put them in a box. I said, I'm not going to throw them away
Hmm.
because right now in this moment, I need to be focused on my family and be present. And that was a really honest moment for myself. And that was hard. It was
Mm.
hard to box up my binders from doTERRA, the notes that we had from years ago that I haven't even looked at. I haven't looked at it in over 2 years. I said, it's just sitting here cluttering up my space. I feel that energy coming from those papers and I don't
Hmm.
want to feel that way anymore. So I boxed everything up and I'm going to look at it again, maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year. I'm not saying no to it forever. I'm just saying no to it for now in this season of my life. And that was hard. I literally cried. I remember sitting outside and asking God for help. Like, what am I supposed to do? Where am I turning to? I just had this emotional release. And even as I was telling my husband that, hey, I'm making a decision to focus on our family, he even got very emotional because he knows how important that holistic lifestyle, how important that coaching lifestyle was important to me. But he also knew that I needed to be present here for my family and for myself to be happy because I wasn't happy before
And that's
juggling all the different jobs.
that's what I was just gonna say to you. So
Mhm.
like I think that's what it comes down to as in this day and age, right? Like we all have to have two and three jobs. We've
I know.
naturally become hustlers. And I'm gonna say it, it's because I want to give my kids a better life than I had, right? Like I
Yes.
want to give my kids $50 to go spend
Mhm.
here, or I want them to have like whatever they want when it's not their birthday or when it's not
Right.
all these other things that are connected to life.
Mhm.
Like so I like the extra cash and I like to give it to them.
Of course.
And it's hard because we became hustlers, but sometimes the hustle is draining.
Oh, I agree
And
with you.
it's like, do we love the hustle life or is it because we're just loving it because we have to do it? And that's another hard thing.
Can I stop you there for a minute? I think we love the hustle life because we don't stop to think about what is actually going on.
Mm.
That's something to think about. We can definitely explore that in another episode. But that hustle life, I don't think yeah, I agree with you. I love that extra money. But I think it's hard to stop because when you stop, you kind of like expose those areas and you actually have to look at it and you have to sit with the quietness. And that sometimes is very hard to sit with that quietness and really feel whatever you feel in that moment.
Yeah. I mean, like even today, like when my son was like, "Mom, you're home today," and I was like, "Yep, home today, home I'm home the next day." And he's like, "I'm so excited. You're going to my game." And I was like,
Aw.
"Of course I'm going to come to your game." He's like, "Well, I didn't know if you were going to go to so and so or do this." And I was like, "No, I'm coming to your game."
Yeah.
And he had the best game. He had hit after hit and he played his best self. And it was like, I was like, saying all the plays wrong because I forgot baseball for a hot second. Um, but I like enjoyed it. And I was like, it's so nice to not have the tension of like worrying, like, oh, what am I going to go home to with the emails or like
Mhm.
all these random thoughts that I normally have. And I'm like, God is trying to tell me to chill the beat out, right?
Exactly.
This is truly, I'm not going to discount because maybe next week I might be like,
We're gonna
but
take it for this week. We'll take it for this week.
I think this was a moment and it's a pin in my life to say, you need to breathe. Like you wanted to start this podcast, and I really did, right?
I
Like
know you
when
did.
you and I started talking about it, I was like, I have so much to say. And I feel like we could be such a great support system for women. But I was meant to start this, but I was also meant to listen and be a participant, which I haven't been.
Right.
And I think it's time.
Okay. All right. So, ladies, let's close this up today. If you've been holding things in, if there's something that you're not saying, just notice that, right? Slow down, allow that space, and be honest with yourself, right? Because there's tension there. There definitely is tension there.
And the tension's okay, right? I think the
Mhm.
more that we can start to speak our truth, live in our truth, and be honest in our truth, we're going to live again.
100%, 100%. And maybe the next step, because we're always sharing with you things that we do in our life. Maybe the next step is not everything all at once, because you know me, I'm all about small baby steps, one thing at a time. Maybe just speaking honestly to yourself.
Mm,
Just look at yourself in the mirror and just say you're doing enough, or slow down, your family needs you. And
right.
just speak from the heart
I
and see
love
what
it.
happens.
So
All right.
next week, we're going to talk about something that connects so closely to us, right? The feeling of being a little lost.
Oh my gosh, yes. And when your life doesn't feel like it fits the way it used to. And this for me is spot on where I'm feeling that you're not exactly sure of who you are in this season. And I have so much to say about that.
Oh, good. Because I might have my breakdown next week.
Okay. I will be there to
So
pick you up.
we're going to talk about how to pick each other up. So,
But
ladies,
yes, go
life
ahead.
doesn't have to be perfect because it's
No,
not,
no, it just has to be real.
and life does throw us some curveballs.
It definitely does. And guess what? We're going to be here to help you pick them up, put them back in the bag, and figure out your next step.
I love it. I
Huh?
love it. Well, I definitely know I'm free next week to join this. So I'll see all you ladies then.
Yeah, I will be free next week as well. We will both be here. We're gonna get back on that horse and we're gonna continue where we left off, my friends. Okay. So if this episode resonated with you, please like, share, comment below. Share this with your friends, with your girlfriends who might be going through a tough time, and just let them know it's okay to be honest with themselves. They can take the veil off. And
And
like
maybe
Teresa said,
share some job opportunities with me too.
put them in the comments if some job opportunities. There you go. And we'll send out Teresa's resume to everyone. All right, friends, have a good day, and we will see you next week on the Messy Middle Unfiltered.
Bye,
Bye for
guys.
now.
We've got scars.